What's up guys, Wally here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to give you a little tour of my minimalist desk setup. This is where I do everything from my normal day job to recording YouTube videos and editing. So I'm going to cover each item here, how long I've been using them for, and how I set up everything to give this simple and clean look. So starting with the table, I use this sit stand desk from Rival Metal. I believe it's a Turkish brand, and I've been using this table for over a year now and it's been great. It does all the usual stuff a sit stand desk should do. It's quiet, it's smooth, it holds the load on the table quite comfortably. It has 4 preset options which I find absolutely useful. Saves me the stress of setting the height I want every time. Usually a table like this will cost nothing less than $450, which is honestly a lot of money to spend for a table, at least where I come from. But for what it's worth, I think it's a worthy investment, especially if you tend to sit down for a long time. The only downside I have to this particular table is that it can only take about 80 kg of load, which is technically way too light for a table like this. I always pinch myself anytime I accidentally lean on it because I know I could easily damage the motor or the bits that hold the column legs together. So if you are going to buy one of these, go for one that can take more than 80 kg of load, preferably one that can do 150 of load. Moving straight away from my table to the machine that powers this whole setup, this is the Dell Latitude 5401 14-inch notebook with 9th Gen Core i7, upgraded to 32GB RAM and 1TB SSD. This is a business laptop and I've been using it since it launched in 2019 and I've had no issues with it whatsoever. I use it for all my data analysis work and I pretty much have every data analysis application installed on it. And on top of that, I do all my editing work with it using DaVinci Resolve 17 and it works perfectly fine. It does have a few wears, especially on the rubber taping on the edges, but other than that, it's still quite clean. It does have a loud fan and it can get quite hot, which is why I have it docked on this docking station for proper ventilation. Not sure you can get this laptop as a new laptop as it's more than 3 years old, but you can still find a used version on eBay for about $500, or you can go for the newer 13-inch version, the Latitude 5431. Moving on to the monitor, this is the Dell 24-inch touch monitor, Full HD 1080p at 60Hz. The display is an LED backlit LCD monitor. I know a lot of YouTubers use 4K or even 5K monitors, but I think for me, Full HD is good enough for now. The screen is already a joy to look at with its ultra thin bezels and the anti-glare screen coating, and the fact that it also has touch screen functionality just gives me that extra joy. Not like I use it every time, but it's always a nice to have, and at 24 inches it has enough screen real estate for my type of work. Now this monitor is sitting on this cheap monitor riser I got for about $50. It's pretty simple and I like it because the color and the finish sort of blends in with the color and the finish of my docking station, my laptop and my monitor, and it just gives the whole setup a consistent look. For my keyboard, I use this stylishly comfortable Dell KM7221W. It's fantastic keyboard, connects up to 3 devices. Before now, I used this Logitech keyboard with a trackpad that I had bought because I thought I wouldn't need an external mouse, which by the way was a silly mistake. The keys were too close to each other and I barely used the trackpad. So to save me from my misery, a friend gave me this keyboard and I just love the look and the feel of it. The keys are super soft and the Titan grey color matches perfectly with the rest of the setup. In terms of reliability, it's super reliable. It uses 2 AAA batteries and it can last more than 6 months, even up to a year, depending on how frequent you use it. This probably cost around $90 and it comes with its own wireless mouse. And speaking of mouse, I use a Logitech MX Master 2X, which I actually just got recently, about a month ago, for around $70. Before now, I used this normal mouse, also from Logitech, for about 3 years. You know, I loved it. It was functional, worked fine, still works, but I kind of grew out of it and I now use this. Almost every YouTuber out there use this MX Master mouse or the latest MX Master 3S. It connects to 3 devices as well, and the side horizontal scroll can help with easy navigation when editing or working with wide Excel files. Battery wise, it can last up to 6 months on a single charge, and I haven't had to recharge it since I bought it. Other devices I have on my desk are this wireless charging station and this desk mat that doubles as a mouse pad and also a resting pad. One more device probably worth mentioning is the one under my desk. It is the Dell USB docking station WD-15. This is a device that powers up all this setup, allows me to connect to my monitor and charge my laptop with a single Thunderbolt 3.0 cable. It cost around $90 and it has been super handy for managing all my connections. And speaking of connections and cable management, I try to keep everything neat and tidy. I have a 6 outlet extension box glued to the underside of the table that supplies power to the desk, and I use cable ties and double-sided tapes to keep cables in place. Finally, the last piece of this whole setup is the chair, and I have 2 chairs. One is the armless YouTuber chair, while the other is nicknamed the manager chair. It's a solid leather chair with sturdy metal frames and legs, and I've been using this for more than 2 years now, and I've had no issues whatsoever. It's comfortable and it's sleek, and I mostly use it when I'm not recording YouTube videos because it's super comfortable. The YouTuber chair, as the name suggests, is what I use for YouTube work, when I'm editing videos or recording videos. I love it because it has a low back and it's armless, although I remove the arms, and that's because I'm able to move around freely with it, unlike the manager chair. Ultimately, I really love this desk setup and I'm pretty much happy with this simple, clean and minimalist setup. Hopefully the items here are not too expensive for those who are looking to set up their own desk setup or workstation, as it were. My only advice will be to take things slow and start with what you have. Do not buy anything until you are absolutely certain you need it. My setup has evolved over time and so will yours. So do not be in a hurry to buy the latest and the greatest piece of tech item. Anyway, I hope you liked this video. If you gained any value out of it, do consider smashing the like button and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.